Sarawak hopes for bigger allocation in budget 2023. And 52 Singaporean businesses are seeking prospects in Kuching. Thailand's PTTEP to explore Block SK325 off Sarawak's coast. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Shul Shamato, and this is TVS Nightline. Sarawak is hoping to be given a larger allocation in budget 2023 to be tabled on February 24. At the same time, Sarawak Premier Dato' PTT Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng said the unity government will resume projects under the 12th Malaysia Plan for Sarawak.
Saya punya harapan mudah-mudahan peruntukan ditambah. Tapi apabila ahli parlimen kita kena potong, the allowance has been reduced to 1.3 million. Cannot expect much. Tapi I think the government will continue with the present project that have been earmarked under the 12th Malaysia Plan for Sarawak. I think they will continue.
In the meantime, Abang Johari also hoped that the government can prioritise states that were marginalised in terms of allocation during past administrations.
Harapan saya ialah supaya Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri akan teruskanlah apa yang impian beliau untuk menambah peruntukan Sabah, Sarawak, Pulau Pinang. Saya tak tahu kenapa Pulau Pinang masuk. Kenapa Pulau Pinang nampak dia kata dia lebih maju daripada Sabah Sarawak.
Previously, Anwar admitted that Penang, Sabah and Sarawak were marginalised in terms of budgets allocated by the previous federal government. Hence, the grievances by the leaders of the aforementioned states will be addressed in Budget 2023.
The Sarawak Trade and Tourism Office Singapore, or STATOS, will invite 52 Singaporean business owners to Kuching for a unique exchange of trade and culture. In a statement today, STATOS said the program, which is to be held from February 20th to 24th, is to promote business opportunities in Sarawak and raise the cultural understanding between Singapore and Sarawak.
According to him, the business owners are from diverse fields, such as food and beverage, logistics, and packaging. Statos added that the event will provide opportunities for participants to explore trading in Kuching, network with other business owners, and learn about the business landscape of Sarawak.
PTT Exploration and Production Public Company Limited of Thailand has joined Petronas Carigali Sinren Berhad and Petroleum Sarawak Berhad, or Petros, as partners in the offshore exploration of Block SK325 in Sarawak. The Thai oil and gas giant, under its subsidiary company, has signed a production sharing contract which was offered under the Malaysia Bid Round 2022 recently.
PTTEP CEO Montrirawan Chaikul noted that this investment will further enhance PTTEP's growth opportunity in Malaysia. At the same time, strengthen relationships with business partners. Based on the plan, the consortium will conduct a 3D seismic survey and other technical studies between 2023 and 2024 to access petroleum potential.
Sarawak will host the first ever Asia Carbon Conference next month from March 14 to 16. The international conference will gather over 400 delegates, including 150 international carbon traders. Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability Sarawak, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hibni, said the event is also in line with the state's goal of moving towards a green economy and the state's initiative to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050.
Sarawak is the first state in Malaysia to have a solid and real framework for us to embark on carbon trading. We have got our rules and regulations, we have our licensing, and we are also in the process of drafting our carbon ordinance and hydrogen ordinance. Yeah? So that means Sarawak is ahead of the other states and even ahead of Malaysia lah. Yeah? So that we can take off immediately and as fast as possible on the carbon trading and carbon storage. This is very important because it is in line with our post-COVID development strategy 2030. Yeah? It is part of this economic strategy because we can make new revenues, new incomes for the state.
Additionally, Dr. Hazlan said that there has been an increasing demand for carbon credits, especially in Asia in recent times, noting that the conference would focus on voluntary carbon markets and carbon capture, utilization and storage, as well as exchanging the latest information, technology and market procedures in carbon trading. Organized by Argus Media in collaboration with the Ministry of Energy and Environmental Sustainability Sarawak and supported by Business Events Sarawak and Petros, with Samling Group as the sponsor host.
Sarawak also hopes that the federal government will continue with the tax incentives for green industry players in its long-term sustainability plan. Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability Sarawak, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hibni said the retabling of the budget 2023 should continue with such initiatives to support the growth of green industry and activities related to climate change mitigation.
Met at the press conference of the Asia Carbon Conference on Thursday, Dr. Hazlan said that this will motivate companies to take up climate change activities seriously, adding that the green industry is capital intensive and requires high expenditure for its equipment.
It will be very useful and very helpful for the industries to have some kind of tax incentive. And the tax incentive actually means there is no tax. There is no corporate tax to both the companies, either the emitter or the storer, both sides. Tidak ada tax. Yeah? So that is the kind of incentive that the whole industry and the whole climate change mitigation strategy is looking for.
To this, he said that he would be meeting the Deputy Finance Minister next week to discuss the matter. Budget 2023 will be retabled by Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim, who is also the Finance Minister, on Friday, February 24th.
On to the next update. A missing 2-year-old boy has been found safe, well and in good health after spending nearly 24 hours alone in a forest near his home at Jalan Perigi, Sematan. The boy, identified as Muhammad Ryan Bujang Abdul Qayyum, was successfully tracked by the Fire and Rescue Department K9 Unit's sniffer dog by the name Daisy.
Sarawak Bomba Operations Assistant Director Henry Ardimansyah said the boy was found at about 1 p.m.
Terdapat biasalah cala-cala sedikit tapi tiada luka-luka yang parah lah. Dalam keadaan sihat, masih lagi cergas.
On Wednesday, the victim was reported missing while waiting for his father at the quarry workers' quarters around noon. His mother realized that Ryan had gone missing, then called for her husband and a group of friends to search for him, but to no avail. The department received a distress call at around 2 p.m. on the missing incident. A search was immediately conducted around the victim's house, the quarry area, and at the nearby palm oil plantation, where he was finally found today as the search operation enters its second day.
Nurturing youth entrepreneurship can be highly beneficial for the society, economy, as well as for the progress of the nation, besides the individual's self-development and achievement. In the current times where the nations are transitioning through tough times and adapting to globalization, the hope for the youth lies more in becoming job creators rather than job seekers. Now, Lubuk Antu Member of Parliament Roy Angau Ginkoi said rural folks, especially in Lubuk Antu, should explore the vast opportunities in various sectors sectors such as agriculture and tourism.
Saya ingin menyeru belia-belia di Lubuk Hantu supaya berkecimpung dalam bidang keusahawanan demi merancakkan lagi ekonomi merancakkan lagi Lubuk Hantu. Di samping itu banyak terdapat beberapa keusahawanan yang mereka boleh ceburi yang saya nampak di Lubuk Hantu yang begitu potensial, iaitu dari segi pertanian, peladangan dan juga pelancongan. Sekiranya kita lihat di kawasan-kawasan Ulu, terdapat scenery yang begitu cantik seperti air terjun, boleh dibuat pusat pelancongannya, sepatutnya membuat chalet dan sebagainya, dan mereka boleh berkecimpung dalam ke arah itu. Di samping itu juga saya ingin belia-belia di Lubuk Hantu lebih aktif dalam mana-mana program sukan. Program sukan tidak mengira sukan bola sepak ke takraw, e-sport sekarang ni, supaya mereka mempunyai daya saing dengan budak-budak di luar bandar. Itu adalah satu-satu program yang saya akan buat dalam tahun ini untuk belia-belia di Lubuk Hantu.
As such, promoting youth entrepreneurship helps solve a lot of problems in the society by ensuring that the marginalized youth is brought to the mainstream through providing them with self-employment opportunities. He said this when met by the media at the Parliament Building's lobby on Thursday.
Coming up right after the break, Prime Minister proposes medals and allowances for smart team in Turkey. Entire Kiev rescue survivor dies in the United Kingdom. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim today suggested that all Special Malaysia Disaster Assistance and Rescue Team or SMART Team personnel currently deployed on a rescue mission in Turkey and Syria to be given special allowances. Anwar said this includes awarding tokens of appreciation as well as service medals to honour the sacrifices and commitment of the personnel involved.
Khas ini ditetapkan bagi tiap individu dan ikut tempoh khidmat mereka, dan saya akan bincang dengan perbendaraan tentang jumlah yang bersesuaian.
He said this at the Dewan Rakyat sitting today. Last Monday, Anwar left for Turkey to express moral support to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and the people of the Republic who were hit by an earthquake early last week, which had claimed tens of thousands of lives. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister said he has given approval for the SMART team, which is supposed to be in Turkey for 2 weeks, extended their stay upon Erdogan's request. He said this was because thousands of victims are still buried under the rubble and will take time and more manpower to retrieve them. According to Anwar, Team Malaysia at Ground Zero under SMART consisted of 140 members, while 110 members were at the field hospital in Adiyaman.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the government took into account the massive damage caused by the earthquake. He said this is in regards to claims by certain parties that the government was excessive in providing assistance to Turkey.
Tetapi apa yang kita saksikan itu agak luar biasa. Dan ini kalau ikut liputan media dan juga taklimat yang disampaikan itu gegarannya itu melebihi bom Nagasaki, Hiroshima.
The Prime Minister said the aid was also given on the basis of the special friendship, which is not only of a personal nature, but also the special relationship between Malaysia and Turkey.
Ketiganya, yang maklumat yang kurang diketahui ialah negara Turki sebenarnya sebelum ini pun telah memberikan bantuan pertolongan langsung dan tidak langsung kepada beberapa usaha kerajaan termasuk syarikat kerajaan terlibat di Turki yang mencecah ratusan juta ringgit. Dan ini jarang berlaku dalam hubungan dua hala kita dengan negara-negara lain.
In a related development, Anwar said he would propose additional humanitarian aid from the Malaysian government to Turkey and Syria at the cabinet meeting this Friday due to the still dire situation in both countries. The Prime Minister also said that the amount of humanitarian aid collected for earthquake victims in Turkey and Syria now amounted to 50 million ringgit.
The Ministry of Plantation and Commodities, KPK, through the Malaysian Rubber Board, is implementing the Latex Production Incentive, or IPL, specifically to encourage rubber smallholders to produce latex.
Deputy Prime Minister and Plantation and Commodities Minister Dato' Seri Fadila Yusof said this program would provide opportunities for rubber smallholders to increase income and encourage them to switch to producing latex instead of scrap rubber. He also added that each rubber smallholder who participates in this IPL program will receive a cash incentive of 1 ringgit per kilogram for 100% dry rubber content.
Bagi setiap peserta pegubung kecil getah yang menyertai program ini, mereka akan menerima insentif tunai sebanyak RM1 sekilogram bagi 100% kandungan getah kering. Dan para peserta menerima bantuan dalam bentuk input pertanian bila mereka dah jual sebanyak 3 kali dalam setahun. Mereka akan dapat RM850 dalam bentuk insentif.
Apart from that, the ministry has also implemented other incentives to protect the interests of rubber smallholders, including Rubber Production Incentive, IPG, and National Rubber Industry Transformation Project, Target.
Dan untuk menggalakkan pekebun kecil terus menoreh dan menghasilkan, maka kita tetapkan lebih kurang konsep floor price lah, iaitu RM2.50 sekilogram untuk 50% kandungan getah kering. Ini di peringkat ladang. Jadi ini telah dilaksanakan daripada 2015 dan sehingga 31 Disember sebanyak 207,128 pekebun kecil seluruh negara dengan nilai 446 juta telah mendapat hasil daripada itu.
The participants of Target will also receive assistance in the form of agricultural inputs, such as fertilizers and pesticides, worth RM850 per hectare on one-off basis. Meanwhile, local rubber production in 2021 constituted 395,594 tons of rubber scrap and 33,709 tons of latex.
2 local employment agencies in Kuala Lumpur were found to be involved in scamming Malaysians into accepting offers from job scams abroad. Home Minister Datuk Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said, following enforcement by the police, a total of 8 individuals from the 2 companies were arrested.
He said this during the minister's question time in the Dewan Rakyat on Thursday. At the time, Saifuddin Nasution was replying to a supplementary question by Sim Zetsin, Bayan Baru Member of Parliament, on actions taken by the government in regards to job scam syndicates. Now, on Sim's original question as to how many Malaysians were involved and rescued, Saifuddin Nasution said an estimated 218 out of 339 individuals involved were rescued, with another 121 stranded. He further said that the two companies were based in Klang Valley and the 8 persons were arrested under Section 13 of the Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrant Act.
Children detained at the Immigration Detention Depot will soon be moved and placed under the care of non-governmental organizations specializing in the welfare of children. As such, the Home Ministry has already identified the overall profile of those children.
Saya dah pun profil jumlah kanak-kanak yang berada di depo tahanan. Sudah pun saya profilkan. Saya tahu the exact numbers di mana mereka dan saya dalam proses dalam masa terdekat ini untuk mengeluarkan mereka daripada depo tahanan ini, terutama yang kanak-kanak betul lah. Ya, saya ada numbers itu, saya sedang berurusan dengan beberapa kumpulan masyarakat madani, NGOs, yang pengkhususan mereka adalah penjagaan.
Meanwhile, speaking of a Bangladeshi child who was found in a container at Westport, Port Klang on January 17, Saifuddin said the Bangladeshi kid would be sent home next week. The 8-year-old from Chittagong, Bangladesh, had accidentally wandered into a container and was locked inside the container for 6 days before being spotted by Malaysian authorities and given treatment at the Tuanku Ampuan Rahimah Hospital in Klang and currently under the care of an NGO.
Kita hantar ke hospital Tuanku Ampuan Rahimah. Kita jaga betul-betul. Kemudian kita hubungi kedutaan Bangladesh untuk keluarkan travel document. Itu semua dah selesai. Kanak-kanak itu pun sekarang dalam jagaan sebuah NGOs. Dan minggu depan kita akan uruskan pembelian tiket dan hantar dia balik.
Previously, it was reported that children were found inside cargo by shipping operations workers. As such, the Malaysian government amended Anti-Trafficking Law and Employment Act to include a more detailed definition of forced labor.
Business owners can still offer affordable prices and leave a positive impact to consumers with the right business strategy. As such, lecturer from the Faculty of Economics and Business of University Malaysia Sarawak or UNIMAS, Dr. Zul Haswan Hussaini, is opined that the RamaMenu should be continued as it will bring relief to those in need.
He also sees that the RamaMenu can create a win-win situation for both parties.
Kempen menu rahmah ini adalah lebih kepada soal moral. Ianya akan memberi impak positif kepada kedua-dua pihak jika tiada masalah di dalam ekonomi mengatakan tentang masalah moral hazard. Sebagai contoh, mereka yang tidak memerlukan tidak perlulah berebut-rebut untuk memberi menu rahmah. Berilah peluang kepada yang memerlukan. Akhirnya, ianya akan menjaga kebajikan kedua-dua pihak, iaitu peniaga dan juga pengguna.
He explained that the initiative is not limited to any income groups and encourage anyone who wants to buy the RamaMenu to do so. As such, it is vital for governments to draft policies and enforce them to ensure there is no unnecessary price hike.
Perlunya kerajaan menyemak dari masa ke semasa tentang nilai ambang bagi tiap-tiap harga barangan kawalan supaya pihak pengeluar dan pengguna berada dalam keadaan yang menang-menang.
He also added that incorrect threshold prices will create more issues in the market, such as supply shortages. This was in reference to a statement made by Maidin Managing Director Dato' Amir Ali Maidin, who said that the RamaMenu, the government's new affordable meal program that offers a basic dish at just 4 ringgit and 90 cents, won't last 3 months if supply costs shoot up.
One of the 12 boys rescued from a flooded Thai cave after a weeks-long operation that captured global attention in 2018 has died in the UK. The 17-year-old boy, who was enrolled in a soccer academy in the UK, had died after being rushed to the hospital on Sunday, February 12. British officials said that the cause of the death was due to an accident without providing more details.
Duangpet Promtap was captain of the wild boars team whose seemingly impossible extraction by international divers and Thai Navy SEALs captured huge global attention. The news of his death was shared on social media by a Buddhist monk, Supatong Metigo, who taught the boys in Thailand's northern Chiang Rai province. Supatpong said he had learned of Duangpet's death from his grandmother, who said he had suffered an unspecified accident in Britain. Meanwhile, former Thai national team captain and coach Kiatisuk Sanamuang, whose foundation helped Duangpet secure a scholarship at the Brookhouse College Football Academy in Leicestershire, described him as a polite, kind gentleman who dreamt of playing for his country. In June 2018, the boys aged 11 to 16 and their 25-year-old assistant coach set off to explore the Tham Luang cave complex for just an hour, but ended up trapped by floodwaters. They were found 9 days later in a flooded chamber 4 kilometers from the entrance of the caves. Their complicated extraction started 6 days later in an unprecedented operation during which a retired Thai diver died. Now, once rescued, the boys were invited to attend a Manchester United match, and their story was the subject of books, documentaries, and films, and most recently the Netflix series Thai Cave Rescue.
Nicola Sturgeon quits as Scottish First Minister on Wednesday, February 15, saying her dominance over her party and the country was no longer the asset it once was in the fight for an independent Scotland. Sturgeon, who has had to work with 5 prime ministers in London during her time in office, stands down with no obvious successor and with the matter of independence unresolved.
The 52-year-old, who has been First Minister since 2014, also said she would stand down as leader of the ruling Scottish National Party, SNP, saying a fresh face would have a better chance of reaching across the political divide and that she had become too divisive and too tired to lead that fight anymore.
Since my very first moments in the job, I have believed that part of serving well would be to know, almost instinctively, when the time is right to make way for someone else. And when that time came, to have the courage to do so, even if to many across the country and in my party, it might feel too soon. In my head and in my heart, I know that time is now, that it is right for me, for my party and for the country. And so today I am announcing my intention to step down as First Minister and leader of my party. I have asked the National Secretary of the SNP to begin the process of electing a new party leader, and I will remain in office until my successor is elected.
She will stay in place until a successor is found. Sturgeon became SNP leader in the wake of a 2014 independence referendum when Scotland voted 55% to 45% to remain part of the United Kingdom. But in recent months, she has been outmaneuvered by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's government in London over attempts to hold a second referendum, and she has been embroiled in a row over transgender rights. Sturgeon told a news conference in Edinburgh that while she believed there was a majority support for independence in Scotland, the SNP needed to solidify and grow that support.
That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shel Shamato. Thank you for watching.